Where do blasphemous thoughts come from, Geronda? Could you tell us something about good indifference? Good indifference is indeed in someone who is overly sensitive, and the Tagalaki torments him with various thoughts. Then it is helpful to become a little insensitive, in the good sense of the term, and not to analyze certain things too much. Moreover, this blessed indifference is necessary for one who, although normally indifferent to many things, is overly sensitive about one particular thing, something that the devil has developed in him in order to destroy him. In this case, it will be helpful to develop this good indifference for a period of time. It will require careful observation. He must confess his thought to his spiritual father, who will observe him carefully. Otherwise, he can gradually level everything down, go to the other extreme, and become completely indifferent. Geronda, when I feel sad, I have blasphemous thoughts. Why is it that? It's like this. When the Tagalaki sees you sad, he takes advantage of the situation and offers you a worldly candy, a sinful thought. As soon as you fall for the first time, he will lead you to greater sadness, and you won't have the strength to resist. This is why you must never remain in a state of sadness, but strive to do something spiritual that will help you to get out of this state of sorrow. Geronda, I am troubled by some thoughts. It is from the evil one, the tempter. Be at peace and do not pay attention to them. You are sensitive. The devil is taking advantage of your sensitivity. He is making you scrutinize certain things so that your mind becomes glued to them and you are tormented for no good reason. The devil may bring to you inappropriate thoughts about the abyss or even about me. Do not pay any attention to them. If you pay any attention to even a single blasphemous thought, it can torment you. It can break your spirit. You need a little good indifference. The evil one usually torments with blasphemous thoughts those who are very devout and very sensitive. He magnifies their fall in order to grieve them, and if he does not succeed in bringing them to desperation, even to the point where they may commit suicide, he then at least attempts to bring upon them some mental illness and to render them useless. And if he cannot do even that, it pleases him to at least bring upon them some form of depression or melancholy. I met someone who constantly spat. People told me, he is possessed by a demon. I said, this is not a habit of someone who is possessed. As I learned later, that fellow was not at fault in anything that would cause him to be possessed by a demon. He had grown up as an orphan and had a certain sensitivity, but he also had sinister thoughts and unfocused imaginings, which the devil exploited to bring him blasphemous thoughts. Therefore, when the devil instigated such thoughts, he resisted by spitting at them. Another person seeing this behavior assumed that he was possessed by a demon. It was a shame for the poor fellow to have this sensitivity, and for others to say to him that he was possessed. Blasphemous thoughts also often come from the devil's malice. Once in a while, especially after a vigil, when one is very tired and unable to resist, the devil will bring blasphemous thoughts, and then, in order to really confuse him and to bring him to desperation, begins to tell him, not even the devil can bring such thoughts. You cannot save yourself now. The devil even brings blasphemous thoughts about a Holy Spirit and then says that this sin cannot be forgiven, and so on. Geronda, can a blasphemous thought come to us through our own fault? Yes. A man himself can cause such thoughts to rise up into his consciousness. Where there is no sensitivity, blasphemous thoughts stem from pride, judging others, and so forth. For this reason, when you undertake an ascetic discipline and have blasphemous thoughts or thoughts of disbelief, you should know that your ascetic discipline, fasting, vigils, and so on, is being carried out with pride. The mind is dimmed by pride, disbelief begins, and the person is deprived of the grace of God. Or when one is preoccupied with questions of doctrine without having the necessary qualifications and spiritual preparation, he is then beset with blasphemous thoughts.